Welcome back and a happy new year. Yes, we're here to do the Divine Masculines update. And a very big thank you to our YouTube members to help aid this platform moving forward into 2023. Yes, the members do get this content a week ahead of the crowd, so they would have got this well and truly in December. Now, we do have a live every Friday. The next one will be via Premiere, but from there on, yes, we're back live yet again. Without further ado, let's get into the update for the Divine Masculine and see what's going down with them. Okay, very interesting read, and a lot of throat chakra really coming through for the Divine Masculine this week, moving into the first week of January. Some of them may be picking up on some of this energy before or after, but I really do feel they're really logically looking at moving forward, and I feel spiritually we're seeing God of Wisdom coming up as their crowning energy, which is pretty unique considering from an astrological point of view, Jupiter is in the first house placement for them, and Mars currently is retrograde, which it will be going direct. I do feel that the Divine Masculine is really logically seeing the future, and it can be spiritually speaking where they're facing a little bit of their shadow, especially in relation to Divine Feminine and karmic third parties. I do feel they're looking at you in the past of having a lot of endurance, but they're kind of perplexed at the moment. They do realize psychologically at some point you were going to potentially could have been give up, outgrow a certain cycle. And they do feel overall Divine Feminine is very wise. And I think it's very interesting that Divine Feminine is really venturing through their read this week in the mix. I feel there's been this notion of love where it does stand with you for a very long time, and I think they're really reflecting back. I feel also because Mercury is currently retrograde, they're really thinking about reaching out, wanting to communicate, maybe mulling over those circumstances. I also see really from the first row, we have these dynamics where they're kind of worried in the heart. They totally understand. They're trying to find that spiritual forgiveness for themselves, to have the confidence to move forward. They do feel some of the things that they did do, maybe it was unforgivable. And there also could be a circumstance with the karmic right now that can be where it's a make or break situation. I feel they want to move beyond this, but they're wondering if it's possible. And I do feel they're wanting to be vulnerable with you. This can be being quite candid. This can be really assessing also the current space they're in their life and, what that stability is, what power they directly have, but looking at it very logically. They could feel very fatigued. I'm noticing we've got God of Battle. And I feel the fatigue is, it's really been quite wise. It's not going in where angels fear to tread. Yes, with Mars retrograde, there was almost this push-pull that was happening in Divine Masculine's life. One minute they were having the courage to move forward, even if they were intellectualizing that subject matter. So I do feel from a spiritual point of view, they might have been quite up in their heads, maybe really fixated on certain goals. But they're also looking at what they will and won't fight for. So it can be a limitation of energy, a limitation of, really reducing it down to simplicity. And I'm hearing the term keep it simple, so I do feel they're simplifying things. I do feel they may have dealt with an individual that maybe wasn't so wise. They also feel that if they were to relate to you, they were, I just keep getting they were unwise to go into a karmic partnership. This, even if they are single, they really are reflecting on this. And it does make sense. Look, Mercury retrograde, we're going down the rabbit hole. We can have some frustrations and things that are hidden. It's almost like we go into the underrealm, especially because, Pluto in Capricorn is the underrealm. It's very scorpionic in nature. And I feel Divine Masculine is really going through that. The Akashic records really going through their, 4D of their shadow self and facing some of those fears. They do have a lot of worries in context and in relation to where they're going in the future. But they also have met some very shady individuals, and it's almost up in their face. They're like, oh, gee, I really need to deal with this. This has not transformed. There could be a caution that they're actually taking around a karmic third party. This can be a person or a mother. It could be a mother they had children with, and they may not be so nurturing, or they may have sort of like a darker Black Moon Lilith kind of side to them. They may be, for some, if they are single, they may be very weary after going through such a drama. Even though they feel, in the light of it, you have been very patient and they feel quite guilty in relation to it. So they do feel, quite on edge with this. There is a person or an individual at a karmic level that is quite codependent on them, and potentially they could even be, facing their shadow in relation to codependency situations. This could be, having habits. It may be being stuck in a contract at work, or in a tribal related dynamic where maybe somebody isn't quite well and they're having to address that. I do feel, to a degree, they're ready to walk out the door regardless of what that codependent pattern is. I also feel some of them could be looking at maybe quitting a habit, getting help for such. I do feel this week they may go through a little bit of shadow energy, and with that shadow, they may need a little bit of time. There could be a text message that they're wanting to send through to you. I feel they're almost like that. It's almost like an escape route, and I feel this escape route. There might have been some text messages back and forward between a karmic for those where that directly applies, and I feel if it is, the connection already ended, so it may be that communication, look, I'm really missing you, and the other person, divine masculine, is like, I feel they're ignoring the text. It's really causing a lot of stress for the karmic third party. I also feel in relation to divine feminine, I feel if they're not talking to anybody. And I spiritually feel their heart space and their logic space. They're trying to be rational. They're trying to be wise. They don't feel it would be fair to just turn up and to be blubbering a bunch of mess, or to be coming in and out. They're really looking at this in the long-term value system. And I don't think the silence is going to remain much longer, because I do feel it's going to come to a head. Yeah, I'm even noticing from the two outcome cards, we've got Communion 11, and we've got that they don't want to just turn up for, it to be quick. They feel it would be that with the tension, with the stress. Let's go into clarifiers and see what they're meaning in relation to this, because I feel this person's already made a decision. I do feel there's an intent. There could be some text messaging that does start to come through. You could hear through the grapevine that this person actually is going through a few trials and tribulations. This can be a separation and a breakup. Yeah, somebody is quite codependent on this individual. And they're aware of this. Could also be their codependency. But they are wanting to level up, and they are coming up as the Lord in the clarifier. So that's very positive. They're even willing to leave a situation, even if it kicks them for six with a financial related dynamic. And this could happen quite suddenly, especially with Uranus and Taurus going direct. I feel a lot of them had their 101 during Christmas and New Year's. They were really looking at this, and they were feeling as though they really knew where their heart was. Some of them may have reached out to you. Some of them, that gave them a lot more clarity. And they're really still investing in that, even if they do need to step back just for a second to get all their ducks in a row. Some situation this week, especially for those of you in communication, it may call of them to address, but I don't feel they've changed their mind on this. I feel they're just directly dealing with the devil in the detail. Okay, some of them at work may not be seeing eye to eye with an individual. Some of them also in the karmic relationship, they've rarely reached closure. They feel this is not working. Yeah, they do not. It's not working. We've got love in reverse relating to the karmic. Okay, how do they feel in relation to the separation with divine feminine? Please, that cycle. Because I feel they're reflecting upon it. Yeah, they're still thinking this. It's almost like you're haunting their mind. So, rest assured, this person is definitely thinking about you. This person has not stopped thinking about you in their heart, in their head. They know that they love you. They don't question that. They're not even surprised. They're in acceptance of it, but they're trying to problem solve a dynamic. They're also trying to reach forgiveness. Yeah, they're internalizing a subject matter which is quite personal to them. So if they're not communicating, it's nothing that they're hiding from you. It just feels something in the 3D nature that they're dealing with that is a little bit challenging and stressful. Some of them could be jealous if they think that you're ending up with somebody else. Some of them, they could be almost paranoid. They could be having some of the fear-based frequencies, even though it's really showing that they do directly trust you in the mix of the circumstance. I also feel they definitely won't tolerate a karmic coming at you. Yeah, this can be an ex. Some of them are still insecure in relation to an ex. This could be especially for those of you that mentioned who that person was. This could have been a situation where you were married and they're wanting to make sure well and truly that it's dead and gone. Yeah. The good old projection is the reflection, but they haven't changed their mind. Okay, let's have a look. Oh, what's the situation with the karmic, please? Well, some of them may be losing money over it, but they rather lose money than sleep. That's what they're making reference to. Look, I do see overall, Divine Masculine does have a people. I'm going to pull one more clarifier because I feel there's something of the nature of a complete 360. And I feel whatever this is, it's going to be pretty big. But it's a major change. And I think while they're tackling it, look, this could be something, and I can't say simple because it doesn't seem to be simple. It seems to be something quite big, either a change of career, maybe dealing with a breakup with karmic. For some, it could be a sick parent. Whatever they're dealing with, it does seem to be quite large, but they've found an exit plan. Okay, so what is this in relationship to? I think it's all of them. I'm just going to be perfectly honest. It's a separation of some description. So they're ending a karmic cycle relating to the past, be it its career. And this is the overall energy to the collective of Divine Masculines. There is a physical ending here and a separation of something from the past. And I feel once they've dealt with it, for some of you, I do really feel you're going to gain communication. There could be a slight pause, but it's going to be auto-corrected very quickly. And I do feel physical movement forward. If you do want to join us for the lives, come through and subscribe. We do have super chats after all the sessions. And if you want to join the members, we do have these a week ahead of the crowd. Take care, beautifuls, and I'll see you on the other side.